So today we are talking about how to feel good when you are getting visible and putting yourself out there. And this is such an important topic. And this topic comes up all the time with my clients, with my communities. It's a question that I get asked all the time. Because we all know how important it is to be visible when you are when you're running a business. You just got to get your face out there. We all know how important it is to build a personal brand, to be seen as credible, to build a reputation, to network, to build your tribe, all these things. But it can feel absolutely excruciating when you are showing your face. It can be so hard, and it can be off-putting. And even if you force yourself to do the thing, you can end up self-sabotaging and it all going horribly wrong. More on that in a moment. It can feel terrifying about speaking out and using your voice, even if you are truly passionate about the thing you are talking about. And it can be paralysing to have an idea, to be really clear in your heart on the big moves that you want to make. But the thought of actually getting out there and doing them is absolutely paralysing. And for whatever reason, it's like your feet are rooted to the floor. It's like you've lost your voice. You just can't make yourself speak out and make the moves and do the thing and show up. So today, I want to talk about how to shift your thinking on this topic. So you not only can get visible, show up and do the thing, but actually enjoy doing it as well. Wouldn't that feel absolutely incredible? This is such an important conversation, and I cannot wait to see what value you get from being here today. If you don't know me, my name is Claire Ackers. I help female entrepreneurs become elemental, powerful forces of nature, so they can have more impact, so they can have more income, but most importantly, so they can stop playing small and scratching the surface of what is available to them. Wouldn't that feel amazing? Okay, so let's talk about my client Amy to start off, because this is a really raw and fresh conversation I've been having this week. So Amy came to me because she was absolutely kicking herself. She's been in business for 5 years now, and it's got a really good reputation. She's got a cracking little niche, really well thought out niche. She's got all the papers, she's got all the qualifications, she's got a really lovely set of clients who love her, who respect her, who pay her on time, and it's really is a joy to work with them. However, she's got a bit of an idea bubbling away, of how she can have even more impact, of how she can help even more clients. And she's sat on it for a little while. She's sat on it for a while, and while she's been sitting on it, she's seen competitors, other people in her industry who haven't got as much credibility as her, who haven't maybe got as much integrity as her, who perhaps are a bit newer into the game, go absolutely sailing past her, seemingly stealing her idea. Of course they haven't really, they've just taken action on it. And she is absolutely kicking herself, thinking, right, come on, now or never, I've got to do the thing. Or one day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be 90, and I'll be wondering, what if? She is absolutely playing small, there's no doubt about it. And she's starting to take some tentative action, but it feels horrible. You know, she's really having to force herself. And it just doesn't feel good. So what we are working on is how to get out there, how to show up, how to get visible in a way that just gives her goosebumps and tingles and sets her soul on fire. And that's what we're talking about today. And I see this all the time. I see so many women biting their tongue in meetings. You know, they've got some really important contribution, and yet the moment passes and they come out the meeting and they're kicking themselves because they haven't said the thing. Have you ever had that idea, brilliant idea that you just know is going to change everything for you in your business, and yet you just can't seem to make yourself take action on it? It's paralysing, right? It's horrible. So why do we do it? Why do we do this? So many of us do it. Why do we do it? Well, the first thing is that we are, by and large, programmed to be good girls. I certainly had this. Programmed to be a good girl. So when I was a kid, I very much had the message to sit in the corner, to do what I was told, to not cause a fuss, to not cause trouble. We do it all the time. I've done it with my daughters. They've been to parties or they've been to play dates, and the very first thing I ask them is not did you have fun, did you have a good time, but were you good? Did you behave yourself? What is that about? What kind of pervasive message is that helping our daughters and sons grow up with? That you've got to be good and behave yourself and not cause any trouble at all costs, you know, first and foremost. And so I just want to kind of honour and acknowledge that there could be really, really strong programming at play here. You could be unwittingly playing out this directive that you have got to be a good girl, to sit in the corner, to not use your voice, to not rock the boat, and that is causing you to absolutely not be able to speak out and share your opinion because you've always been told that it doesn't matter. And going alongside this as well with the good girl archetype is the people pleaser. This is a huge one. Again, we are told to make ourselves available, to think of other people first, to not be selfish, to think about where we can be of service. And these are all great things for being part of society up to a point. But sometimes it can be a little bit dangerous in that in doing so, we squish down and bury and ignore our own needs. I had this very recently. A client had been so programmed to be a people pleaser that she was being walked all over at home and at work. And it was frustrating the hell of her because she knew she had a lot more to give. She knew that her relationships could be stronger. She knew that she could be having so much more impact on a contract that she was doing, but she wasn't able to do it because she just couldn't assert what her own desires and needs were. So that's the next thing to think about. Where are you people pleasing? Where are you unconsciously thinking that other people's opinions are more valid than yours? The next thing I want you to think about is the old caveman programming. Now, I talk about this all the time. It feels like every week, but I'm going to say it again because it is important and because it underlines everything. Whenever you do something outside your comfort zone, sharing a new idea, coming on camera and sharing your opinion, speaking out, launching a new product, telling a client no, this takes you out your comfort zone. And so your caveman programming, that lizard brain, immediately kicks in and starts screaming at you. Unsafe, unsafe, unsafe. This does not fit with our programming. This is unfamiliar. This is new and scary. Maybe we're going to be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. And of course, in 2024, there are no saber-toothed tigers. We are, by and large, pretty safe. But the mind cannot distinguish between a real and a perceived threat. It reacts physiologically with the hormones it floods your body with your nervous system going into free fall. It reacts exactly the same way as if you were being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And so you go into high alert and you can't think rationally. You go into this hyper-focused black and white thinking, which means that you can't show up and do yourself justice and enjoy the thing. Think of stage fright. Have you ever been waiting in the wings, ready to take your turn in stage, or you're sitting there with your notes in the audience, know that your name's going to be called, even a wedding speech? I had it the other day at my kids' sports day, waiting to do the mum's race. That feeling of being on display, of being seen by everybody, it sends your nervous system into absolute free fall. And it's really, really scary. So this is why we do it. This is why it feels horrible sometimes to be visible, because our mind immediately goes from, I understand why this is important for my business, into, oh my gosh, we're going to get it wrong. We're going to look stupid. We're going to be rejected. We're going to lose our business, lose our money, and end up destitute on the street. That is where your mind spirals to, just trying to keep you safe. And so it's really important just to acknowledge and honour that it's not under your control. There are very good evolutionary and societal even reasons that we have these stress responses to doing things outside your comfort zone. There's probably, or there will be, some outdated programming that's running the show, a misunderstanding that was formed in your subconscious when you were a kid in order to keep you safe, in order to keep you in your comfort zone. And what I mean by this is something like, it's not safe to be visible. My own story. When I was a kid, so around the ages of 6, I put my hand up to answer a question in class. And I was so confident. I was a bit of a swot at school. I was pretty confident in my answer. And I got it wrong. I gave completely the wrong answer to the question, and everybody, including the teacher, laughed at me. Can you imagine the horror? A whole class of 30 kids, including a teacher who quite frankly was old enough to know better, just rolling about laughing at the stupid answer that I gave. And you can bet that that kick-started a lifetime of not feeling safe to be visible, of not feeling safe to share what I was thinking, or any projects that I was working on, or just my innermost thoughts, for that fear of being rejected and looking stupid and not belonging to the tribe. And so here's an invitation. What baggage are you carrying around from being a kid, from trying something, from looking foolish, for not feeling safe to be visible? An invitation just to explore that a little bit. So here's the big question. How do you feel good about showing up and getting visible? Because it's important. You are not going to achieve what you want to in your business if you're hiding, if you're not being vulnerable, if you are not putting yourself out there. So the first thing you need to do is to tap into the big picture. You've got to understand why you were doing this, why it is important for you to show up. It's got to be exciting and stretchy enough for you to bother doing the thing. It's got to make your bum clench a little bit with, oh, I'm not quite sure this is going to go very well. But you can almost taste the green pastures, the wonderful, gorgeous thing that's on the other side when you get to it. It's got to be exciting and compelling enough to you to bother getting out of your comfort zone. The second thing is to get clear on your intention on doing the thing. Are you just going to do a live stream? Are you just going to do a post because your coach told you that you should do? Because a marketing consultant has come up with a social plan for you and you know that on Tuesdays you need to post a story? No, that's not going to work. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of your audience and understand that when they hear this thing, it's going to impact them. It's going to resonate with them, and it's something important that you've got to say. What's your intention? How do you want to make your audience feel when you show up? Whether that's on LinkedIn, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on a podcast, whether that's in a pitch, whether you're writing a book, whatever it is you are doing, how do you want your audience to feel? And then you've got to pick what you're going to talk about, and it's got to be something that you are passionate about. If you're forcing yourself, don't bother, because it's going to fall flat, it's not going to be compelling, and people are going to switch off after 2 minutes. So you've got to pick your hills to die on. I call them inside Audacity. There's got to be something that you could get on a soapbox about and chew people's ear off. Something that you are so passionate about that you can just speak with integrity and passion and just really care about. Number 4 is you've got to get your energy right. You've got to spend some time thinking about how you get in the right state to deliver the message that you want to deliver. What does that mean? You've got to have some rituals that allow you to do your thing. Here's a couple of mine. The lipstick. This is my battle armour. I need to know that I am getting in a certain state to speak out and use my voice. Having a cup of tea beside me. That candle there as well. It invokes a smell, and I know it is time to be the show pony for my business and to bring it. So have a think. What could you do to get your energy in the right state? The next thing, number 5, take positive action. You know, you can't just sit here waiting for the stars to align or for you to feel right, or for you to wait for some divine inspiration. You've got to have a bit of positive discipline. Sometimes you've just got to pull your finger out, screw your courage to the sticking place and do the damn thing. And if you hear nothing from today's conversation, take that one away. And then finally, I want to talk about excuses. Now, this wasn't actually something that I've written down, something that I want to talk about, but I think it's really important to honour the excuses. There were a million reasons why I couldn't, shouldn't, or wouldn't come and do the thing today. Last week, the roof fell in my office. There was a flood, the roof fell in, the carpet got all wet, and it's a bit of a tip out there. And then yesterday, my laptop died. Right in the middle of running a group program session. Lots of people on a call with me. My laptop died. Everybody's face started moving like they're in the Matrix. And I had to steal my daughter's laptop so I could carry on doing my business. And if you've ever, if you're watching me, if you've ever attended before, this is not my usual setup. This is my shed quarters. This is set up for filming. This is set up for recording short videos, not for big teaching conversations like this is. So I am coming to you on headphones. I hate using headphones. It is not my vibe. There's a big excuse why I couldn't have done it. I'm doing it on my phone. Hopefully it's coming across to you okay. Hopefully the sound quality is okay. Hopefully if you're watching me I look okay. But it is not my usual setup. Outside the window there's a massive cherry picker and they are doing something to the building. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It has been going on for days. But I've been worried that the sound of that is coming across. Any of that could have knocked me off my game. But I'm here. I'm doing the thing anyway, because this topic is important. You hearing this message is important. And so call yourself out. What excuses are you making about why you couldn't, shouldn't, or wouldn't do the thing? And then finally, celebrate afterwards. You have got to celebrate like hell when you are doing the thing. I'm going to celebrate with a fresh cup of coffee because I am rock and roll like that and because I'm getting up at 5 a.m. at the moment. Hello, summer holidays. But you've got to celebrate and bask in your achievement in every single little achievement you do. For the dopamine hit, and the other one, oxytocin, couldn't remember that one there, thank you, perimenopause, for those hormonal reasons, but also because when you celebrate, you create a cycle and a chain of evidence that you can do the thing. And the next time it is time for you to show up and get visible and do your thing, it is so much easier because you've got that chain of evidence that you can do it well, and that it feels good to take action. So that is all I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what has resonated with you. And I want to finish with a little invitation. I got inspired earlier on this week to offer this, so that's why I'm doing it. In this conversation, I want to invite you to enter into the draw to win a Get Unstuck session with me. The Get Unstuck sessions are for female entrepreneurs who've got a big, bold, beautiful idea. Maybe it is getting visible with integrity, but for some reason you cannot make yourself do it. I don't care what it is, you just can't make yourself do it. You're wading through treacle, you're procrastinating, you're doing every single thing apart from taking action on the thing. I have got 10 of these sessions to give away. And I will be drawing the names out of a hat at the end of the week, and there is a strict criteria on who they are for, because I want to make sure that I can add the greatest value with my time. You must be a woman in business and you must be doing pretty well. You are great at what you do, you've got a lot to give, you consider yourself smart, and you know in your heart of hearts that you are getting in your own way. You're playing small. You are stopping yourself from taking action on doing the thing. So if you would like to be considered for a Get Unstuck session with me, please comment wherever you are accessing this conversation. Please comment with the word flow, and your name will be entered in the prize draw to win one of those Get Unstuck sessions with me. Right, that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what has resonated, and I will see you very soon.